Monster Magnet is an American stoner rock band. Hailing from Red Bank, New Jersey, the group was founded by Dave Wyndorf, John McBain and Tim Cronin. The band first went by the names Dog of Mystery, Airport 75, Triple Bad Acid, and King Fuzz before finally settling on Monster Magnet, taken from the name of a 1960s toy made by Wham-O, which Wyndorf liked when he was a child. Career: in 1989, Monster Magnet released 2 demo cassettes, Forget About Life, I'm High on Dope and I'm Stoned, What Ya Gonna Do About It. The band's first official release was a single Lizard Johnny Freakshop USA on Long Island-based Circuit Records. The first demo and single was recorded as a 3-piece. Before the second demo, John Kleiman and Joe Collindra joined on drums and bass respectively. Thus the lineup was composed of McBain on guitar, Wyndorf on guitar and vocals, Cronin on vocals, Kleiman on drums and Collindra on bass. An EP followed, self-titled EP from Glitterhouse Records of Germany. The EP contained the songs Snake Dance, A Not Seen and Tractor. In 1990 the band signed with Caroline Records and released a single, Murder Tractor. Cronin left shortly after. In 1991 they released their first full-length album, the cult classic Spine of God. The album is hailed as one of the classics of the stoner rock genre, ranking 28th on Heavy Planet's top 50 of all time. The album contained the single Medicine, which was also the band's first music video. The band followed with a tour alongside rising grunge band Soundgarden. The tour helped the band get a recording contract with major record label A&M Records. Their final release with Caroline Records was an EP titled Tab, which included, among 2 other marathon-length songs, a 32-minute track called Tab. The Tab EP was recorded before Spine of God, yet released after it. McBain quit the band soon after and was replaced by Atomic Bitchwax guitarist Ed Mundell. 1993 saw the release of the album Superjudge. While the album was released on a major label, it fared poorly commercially. The songs Twin Earth and Face Down were released as singles, but it did little to help promote the album. Dopes to Infinity, the follow-up record, had a hit single, A Negasonic Teenage Warhead, which benefited from a music video that received regular rotation on MTV. Still, the album was not the success the band had hoped for. After the Dopes to Infinity tour, Wyndorf moved to Las Vegas, Nevada in order to begin working on Power Trip, a breakthrough hit that finally earned the band a gold record. Guitarist Phil Caivano joined the band in 1998. Space Lord, the first single, was a major radio hit and the band went on tour with successful bands Aerosmith, Metallica, Rob Zombie, Hole and Marilyn Manson. The songs Power Trip, Temple of Your Dreams, and See You in Hell also received airplay on rock radio stations. The album charted at number 97 on the Billboard 200. After a 2-year tour supporting Power Trip, the band released God Says No, charting at number 153 on the Billboard. However, it failed to match the commercial success of the band's previous release. After the release, Joe Collindra and John Kleiman left the band. They would be replaced by Jim Baglino and Michael Wildwood, who recorded Monolithic Baby. And, after a short stint, Wildwood was replaced by former Love Among Freaks drummer Bob Pantella, respectively. The band also left A&M Records during this period. Monster Magnet wrote and performed Live for the Moment, which was the entrance theme of former WWE wrestler Matt Hardy from 2002 to 2010. The song also appeared on the WWF Possible Entry compilation. In 2003, Monster Magnet released Greatest Hits, a double album featuring their best songs, some rarities, and music videos from their time with A&M. They then signed to the European label SPV, and in early 2004 released Monolithic Baby. Throughout Europe, the US release followed in May on SPV America. The band had a minor hit with the song Unbroken. In March 2005, Caivano departed after 7 years' service in a split described as amicable by Wyndorf. A follow-up to Monolithic Baby was expected in March 2006, to coincide with their European tour, along with re-releases of Spine of God and Tab. both featuring new artwork and liner notes. However, the tour and album releases failed to materialize. On February 27, 2006, Dave Wyndorf overdosed on prescription drugs. His management released the following statement. The battle with only a unregistered trademark S inner demons is the most personal fight any of us can undertake. The fight is at times a lonely, confusing journey. On the evening of February 27, Dave Wyndorf suffered a setback in his own fight and was hospitalized for a drug overdose. His full recovery is expected. We ask that all those he has encountered over the years or simply affected by his music to take a moment to think good thoughts of and for him. With the grace of God and those who love him, we are all confident that Dave will rebound from this setback, sick, and continue to play and make great rock and roll. In 2007, it was announced that Monster Magnet would release a new album, Four-Way Diablo, which had been put back for a year because of Wyndorf's overdose. It was released later that year. Later in 2007, another Greatest Hits collection, 20th Century Masters The Millennium Collection, the best of Monster Magnet, was released. Power Trip was used as the official theme song for the WWE pay-per-view, No Way Out 2007. Prior to Monster Magnet's 2008 European tour, Caivano returned to the band. On November 24, 2009, it was announced that Monster Magnet had signed a new deal with Napalm Records. The band also announced that they would enter the studio in January 2010, to record a new album for a summer release. According to Wyndorf, the band is very pleased with the label, which is doing a good job. The new album, entitled Mastermind, was released in October 2010. The band embarked on a massive European tour, in August and then in November December 2010, to promote their new album. After the summer European tour of 2010, Ed Mundell left the band after 18 years to collaborate with other musicians and producers, forming the ultra-electric Mega Galactic. Dave Wyndorf stated that Garrett Sweeney will be filling Ed's spot on the tour. In the fall of 2011, Monster Magnet toured and performed the seminal Dopes to Infinity record in its entirety throughout Europe. 1 year later they did the same thing with their 1992 album Spine of God. Last Patrol was released in North America on October 15, 2013. The official Monster Magnet website also announced a North American tour for the album, their first in 10 years. However, the remaining shows in mid-December got cancelled because of Wyndorf's influenza. The tour resumed in Europe in January and continued through February. Wyndorf stated that the band would play at each show the entire Last Patrol. In November 2014, the group released their 10th studio album Milking the Stars, a reimagining of Last Patrol. Influences. Monster Magnet's style is heavily influenced by 1970s heavy metal and space rock bands such as Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, Hawkwind, Captain Beyond and Sir Lord Baltimore. In addition to recording covers such as Black Sabbath's Into the Void, and Hawkwind's Brainstorm, Wyndorf sometimes incorporated elements of space rock staples into his own songs. For instance, the Dopes to Infinity title track borrows some of its lyrics from Lord of Light, and Superjudge's Twin Earth is a reinterpretation of Captain Beyond's Mesmerization Eclipse. The main guitar riff to the track Dopes to Infinity is lifted from the Sir Lord Baltimore song Woman Tamer. Wyndorf also is a fan of 1960s comic books, particularly Jack Kirby. He mentions Kirby in the song Melt from God Says No. He also mentions MODOK and Ego the Living Planet, both of which are Marvel Comics creations. All Shook Out from God Says No has a reference to Children of the Atom, which is a reference to X-Men, also from Marvel Comics. Additionally, Marvel's Fantastic Four is referenced in the song The Titan Who Cried Like a Baby on their Mastermind album. Marvel is aware of the admiration, and there is a mutant named Negasonic Teenage Warhead, after one of their songs. In other media. Television The television drama series Sons of Anarchy uses Monster Magnet tracks frequently. Those featured include Monolithic in Series 1, Radiation Day, and Slot Machine in Series 2, and 100 Million Miles in Season 3, as well as Freeze and Pixelate. Tracks from the 2001 album God Says No have been used in television series, including the sci-fi series Alphas, and The Shield, which featured the track God Says No in an early episode. The reality series Viva La Bam also used the track Slot Machine from Monolithic Baby. In an episode, Film tracks from the 1995 album Dopes to Infinity were included on the soundtrack for The Matrix and The Girl Next Door. The soundtrack of the 1994 movie SFW features an early, otherwise unreleased version of a song originally from Dopes to Infinity, Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Beowulf features Lord 13 from the early 90s EP 25 Taub during its end credits. Several tracks from the 1998 Monster Magnet album Power Trip have been featured in film soundtracks, including See You in Hell, Power Trip, Crop Circle, and Space Lord. Big God, the bonus track on the Japanese edition of the album, was used in The Crow, Salvation. Tracks from the 2001 album God Says No were used in the films Heavy Metal 2000 and Dracula 2000. The 2004 mountain bike film New World Disorder v. Disorderly Conduct featured Radiation Day and Slot Machine on its soundtrack. Monster Magnet contributed a cover of the MC5 song Kick Out the Jams to the Varsity Blues soundtrack. They also performed their track Master of Light from Monolithic Baby. Live in a scene in the movie Talk. Video games Sony Computer Entertainment's 2007 PlayStation 3 release MotorStorm featured Power Trip from Power Trip. Electronic Arts' early 90s release Road Rash featured Dinosaur Vacuum from Super Judge. Activision Value's 2006 release American Chopper featured Space Lord. Promotional use The Krusty Demons Freestyle Motocross series has used both Power Trip from Power Trip and Melt from God Says No. Live for the Moment was the theme song of former WWE wrestler Matt Hardy, and was featured on WWE Possible Entry. Space Lord is used in a commercial for the Swedish chain store JC. Band members Timeline Members Other projects. Since the mid-1990s, Cronin and Kleiman have fronted the Rebay Brothers. In 2003, Pantella mixed and plays bass on the Glassbox Bridge Burner album. Mundell also played lead guitar on the Glassbox track Peep Show. The album was released on Small Stone Records in May 2004. In 2010, Ed Mundell left Monster Magnet to collaborate with new musicians and producers. In 2011 he formed the Ultra Electric Mega Galactic, and has contributed to albums for Sasquatch, Abruma, Nine Chambers. His solo album Space Time Employment Agency is slated for 2013. In 2007 Pantella joined the Atomic Bitchwax. Also in 2007, Pantella and Baglino formed Riot God, along with Garrett Sweeney, and Mark Sunshine. In 2010, Pantella appeared on Lady Killer's debut self-titled release. He is credited as having played drums on 13 of the 16 songs, in addition to having tracked more than half of the album at his recording studio in Sawyerville, NJ. In 2010, the first single American Dream was released on One Voice by Capricorn, a band formed by Phil Caivano, Todd Youth and Carl Ruskweist. Discography Demo cassettes Studio albums Remix radio albums EPs compilation albums singles References External links Official website Extensive interview with Dave Wyndorf on The Jekyll and Hyde Show.